Welcome to Sleep, a place where every gentle sound guides you toward peace, and every moment helps you drift into deep, restful sleep. I'm so glad you've joined me tonight. Dear listener, settle in now. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Feel the surface beneath you supporting your weight without effort. You do not need to do anything at all. Just notice the room you are in, the temperature of the air, the gentle rhythm of your breathing. Each breath arrives on its own, and each breath leaves on its own. There is nowhere to go and nothing to solve. This time is only for rest. As you listen, allow your attention to drift away from the day. Imagine it loosening its grip, like a coat being set down at the door. If thoughts wander in, that is perfectly fine. You can let them pass like clouds, unhurried and quiet. Bring your awareness back to the sound of my voice, steady and calm, guiding you toward stillness. Feel your feet grow warm and heavy, then your calves, your knees. A soft relaxation spreads upward through your legs, as if they are gently sinking into comfort. Your breathing slows naturally, in through the nose, out through the mouth. No need to control it, just observe. Now let that same calm reach your stomach and your chest. The rise and fall becomes smoother, easier. Your shoulders drop just a little more. Your arms rest comfortably at your sides, or wherever feels right. Even the small muscles around your eyes can relax, smoothing out, letting go. You are safe here. This is a quiet space, a place for rest, imagination, and gentle drifting. Our story today begins in winter. Our story today begins at a Scottish Highland Lodge, nestled deep within a wide, snow-covered glen. Evening has arrived slowly, the kind of evening that does not rush. The sky has faded from pale gray to deep blue, and snowflakes fall in an unbroken, patient rhythm. The lodge stands solid and welcoming, built of old stone that has weathered many winters. A soft light glows from its windows, warm and steady, like a promise. Smoke curls from the chimney, rising lazily before disappearing into the cold air above the pines. As you imagine this place, you may notice how quiet it is. Snow absorbs sound, and the world feels hushed. Even the wind moves gently here, brushing the tops of the trees with care. Each breath of air feels clean, crisp, and refreshing. You approach the lodge along a narrow path, your footsteps muffled by fresh snow. The door opens easily, and warmth greets you at once. Inside, the scent of burning wood and pine fills the air. A fire crackles in a wide stone hearth, casting slow, dancing light across the room. The interior is simple and cozy. Thick wooden beams stretch overhead. A woven rug lies across the floor. A sturdy table rests near the fire, holding a teapot and 2 waiting mugs. Everything here feels unhurried, as if time itself has slowed to match the quiet of the evening. You move closer to the fire and feel its warmth on your skin. It is not too hot, just enough to ease the chill from your bones. A deep armchair waits nearby, draped with a soft wool blanket. You settle into it, and it welcomes you without resistance. Outside, snow continues to fall. The sound is barely audible, a faint whisper against the windows. Somewhere in the distance, a tree shifts under the weight of snow, releasing it with a soft thump. Then silence returns, thick and comforting. You wrap the blanket around yourself and exhale. The day feels far away now. The fire's glow flickers gently, hypnotic in its rhythm. Each flame rises and falls, steady and soothing. Your breathing begins to mirror that rhythm. In the lodge, everything exists at just the right pace. The kettle on the stove hums quietly, not demanding attention. The wooden walls hold warmth like a memory. Even the shadows feel friendly here, stretching and shrinking in the firelight. As you sit, your mind begins to drift further inward. Thoughts slow down. Sensations become softer. You are deeply comfortable, deeply at ease. Just for a moment, notice how relaxed your body feels compared to when you first began listening. That gentle heaviness is a sign that rest is close. You do not need to chase sleep. It will arrive on its own, like snow settling naturally on the earth. Now, before we go deeper into the story, let me gently say this. If these quiet tales are helping you drift off, a gentle like or a silent subscribe would mean the world. It helps this sleepy corner of the internet reach others who need a little calm too. I always wonder, where in the world are you listening from right now? If you're still awake, leave a whisper of a comment, maybe your city and the time on your clock. It's a beautiful thing, this quiet little global gathering, all connected through stories and stillness. Now, let's set the mood. Dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and get comfortable. And now, we return to the lodge. The fire has settled into a steady glow, no longer popping loudly, just breathing warmth into the room. Outside, the snowfall thickens slightly, each flake drifting down without urgency. The highlands stretch endlessly beyond the lodge, rolling hills blanketed in white, sleeping beneath the winter sky. You imagine stepping outside for a moment, bundled warmly. The cold air touches your cheeks, fresh and clean. Your breath forms small clouds that fade as quickly as they appear. Above you, stars peek through the clouds, distant and calm. There is a deep sense of belonging here. Not ownership, not responsibility, just presence. You are a visitor, welcomed without question. The land does not ask anything of you. It simply exists, and you are allowed to exist within it. You return inside and close the door softly. The warmth wraps around you again. The armchair waits. The blanket settles back over your shoulders. Everything is exactly as it should be. Time stretches. The clock on the wall ticks quietly, each second unimportant. The fire continues its gentle dance. Your eyelids feel heavier now, fluttering slightly as relaxation deepens. In the lodge, there is a small bookshelf filled with well-loved volumes, stories of travelers, old legends of the Highlands, handwritten journals from winters long past. You do not need to read them. Just knowing they are there is enough. Knowledge resting quietly, waiting just like you. The wind brushes the lodge again, causing the windows to murmur softly. It is a comforting sound, like the world reminding you that it is still there, still turning, even while you rest. Your breathing is slow now, deep, even. With each exhale, your body sinks further into the chair. The edges of your awareness blur. Thoughts become dreamlike, less defined. You may begin to notice images forming behind your closed eyes. Flickers of firelight, snow falling in slow motion, shadows stretching across stone walls. Let them come and go without effort. The lodge feels alive in a quiet way. The beams creak gently as they settle against the cold. The fire shifts, glowing brighter for a moment before softening again. The kettle sighs, releasing a final curl of steam. Outside, the highlands sleep. Hills roll beneath the snow like gentle waves frozen in time. Streams lie hidden beneath ice, still moving, still alive. Forests stand tall and patient, their branches heavy with white. This is a place that understands rest. And now, as the story continues, you do not need to listen closely. You can allow my words to fade into the background, like music in another room. If sleep comes, let it take you. If not, that is perfectly fine too. The story will hold you either way. The fire dims slightly as the night deepens. The room grows darker, softer. The blanket feels warmer. Your body feels heavier, as if gravity itself has become more gentle. Snow continues to fall, and fall, and fall. Everything slows. Nothing is required. Nothing is missing. Only rest, only quiet. Only this peaceful, snowy evening at a Scottish Highland Lodge, holding you safely as sleep draws near. The night deepens outside the lodge, though inside it feels timeless, as if the world has paused just for you. The fire settles into a low, steady glow, no longer reaching high, just enough to keep the room bathed in amber light. Shadows soften and blur along the stone walls, and the ceiling beams seem to fade gently into darkness above. You remain wrapped in warmth, your body loose and comfortable. Breathing feels effortless now. Each inhale arrives quietly. Each exhale leaves without taking anything with it. If you notice yourself drifting, that is exactly right. Beyond the thick wooden door, the highlands rest in complete stillness. Snow continues to fall, layering the land inch by inch. It gathers on the branches of pine trees, bending them slightly, never breaking them. The mountains stand tall and patient, ancient and unmoving, watching over the glen as they have for centuries. Somewhere far away, a stream flows beneath ice, its movement slow and steady. It does not rush, it does not pause. It simply moves, following its path without thought. There is something comforting in knowing that even in winter, life continues quietly beneath the surface. Inside the lodge, the air feels calm and heavy with warmth. The scent of wood smoke lingers, mixed with a hint of pine and wool. It is a scent that tells your body it is safe, that it can rest. Your head sinks slightly deeper into the cushion of the chair. The blanket settles more fully around you, as if it has adjusted itself just for your comfort. Muscles that you did not even realize were holding tension now let go. You might notice a gentle hum in the silence. Not a sound exactly, more like the feeling of quiet itself. The kind of quiet that wraps around you rather than pressing in. The kind that allows your thoughts to slow until they feel distant, unimportant. In this lodge, winter is not harsh, it is kind. It invites rest, it invites stillness. The fire shifts again, a single log settling into place with a soft crack. A tiny spark lifts upward and disappears. Nothing startles, nothing interrupts the calm. You imagine the lodge as it has been through many winters, travelers arriving at dusk, shaking snow from their coats, finding warmth and rest. Long evenings spent by the fire, listening to stories, or simply listening to the silence. Nights like this one, where sleep comes easily, carried on the rhythm of wind and flame. The walls have absorbed all of that quiet over time. They hold it now, offering it back to you. Your eyelids may feel heavy, as if they prefer to stay closed. If they flutter open for a moment, that is fine. If they remain closed, that is fine too. There is no wrong way to listen. Outside, clouds drift slowly across the sky, revealing stars for a moment before covering them again. The moonlight reflects off the snow, giving the land a soft glow, even in darkness. Everything looks gentler under snow. The Highlands breathe slowly tonight, in and out, in and out. You may begin to feel as though you are floating, just slightly, not lifting, not falling, simply resting in between. The chair supports you. The lodge surrounds you. The story carries you forward without effort. In one corner of the room, a lantern rests on a wooden shelf. Its flame is low, steady, almost motionless. It adds just a touch of light, enough to make the room feel complete. The lodge is not large, but it does not need to be. Every inch serves comfort. The clock ticks on, but time has lost its meaning here. Seconds stretch into softness. Minutes dissolve. There is only this moment, warm and quiet. Your breathing remains slow and deep. Each breath sends a gentle wave of relaxation through your body, from your scalp, down your neck, across your shoulders, and all the way to your fingertips, from your chest, through your stomach, down your legs, and into your feet. If any thoughts drift through your mind, let them float by like snowflakes. You do not need to catch them. You do not need to follow them. They land, they melt, they are gone. The lodge feels like a shelter, not just from the cold, but from effort itself. Nothing is expected of you here. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be. Outside, the forest stands silent. Animals sleep, curled into themselves, conserving warmth. Birds tuck their heads beneath their wings. Even the wind seems to move with care, as if it does not want to disturb the night. The snow thickens slightly, then eases again. It falls in patterns that never repeat, each flake unique, each one landing softly and disappearing into the white. You might imagine stepping to the window again, just for a moment. The glass is cool beneath your fingertips. You look out over the glen and feel a sense of awe at how wide and open it feels, even in darkness. There is space here, space to breathe, space to rest. Then you return to the chair, to the fire, to the warmth. Your body feels heavier now, but in a pleasant way, like sinking into a mattress at the end of a long day. Gravity feels kind, supportive. The firelight dims further as the logs burn down. The room grows darker, but not uncomfortable. The shadows blur into one another, and the edges of the room soften. Your awareness narrows, focusing less on surroundings and more on sensation, warmth, stillness, ease. The lodge creaks softly as the temperature outside drops a little more. The sound is slow and low, like the building settling into sleep along with you. You are not alone here, but you are undisturbed. The lodge keeps watch. The mountains stand guard. The night wraps around everything gently. If sleep has already begun to pull you under, let it. If you are still listening, that is fine too. There is no need to hurry. The story will continue, slow and steady, like a path through fresh snow. In the distance, an owl calls once, low and brief, then silence returns. The sound feels like punctuation at the end of a sentence, not a disruption. Your breathing remains calm and regular. Your heart beats steady and slow. The blanket feels just right, not too heavy, not too light. The chair holds you without pressure. The fire glows faintly. Snow falls, everything rests, and you can rest too. We will continue our quiet journey through this snowy evening, allowing the night to deepen and the calm to grow even stronger. The lodge feels even quieter now, as though it has exhaled and settled into itself. The fire has burned low enough that its light is more of a glow than a flame, pulsing gently like a slow heartbeat. The room no longer asks for your attention. It simply exists around you, steady and calm. Your body feels deeply supported. The chair curves around you in a way that feels natural, familiar. The blanket has warmed completely, holding heat close without trapping it. You may notice that your hands and feet feel pleasantly heavy, as if they are resting exactly where they belong. Outside, the snow continues its patient descent. It does not rush, it does not pile all at once. Each flake arrives when it is ready, landing softly on what came before. The ground accepts it without resistance. The highlands seem endless at this moment. Rolling hills stretch outward, smooth and quiet beneath their white covering. The mountains loom gently in the distance, their peaks softened by snowfall and shadow. They feel protective, ancient, and calm. Somewhere within that vastness, a narrow path winds through the snow. It is barely visible now, but it exists all the same. It leads from the lodge into the hills, disappearing into the trees. It is a path meant for another time, another day. Tonight, there is no need to walk it. Tonight is for stillness. Back inside, the air feels slightly thicker with warmth. The scent of smoke and wood has softened, becoming almost sweet. Each breath feels nourishing, as though the air itself is helping you rest. Your thoughts grow quieter. They no longer line up or demand to be sorted. They drift in slow circles, then fade. If a thought does linger, it does so gently, without urgency. The clock on the wall ticks on, but it sounds farther away now, as if it has moved to another room. Time continues, but it does not press in. You are free from it here. The fire shifts again, settling deeper into embers. The glow spreads low and wide, casting a soft halo of light near the hearth. The rest of the room melts into shadow, cozy and safe. You may notice that your breathing has become so quiet it is almost imperceptible. That is your body finding its natural rhythm. There is no effort in it now, just calm movement in and out. Outside, snow gathers along the windowsills and the roof of the lodge. It adds insulation, thickening the quiet. The world beyond the walls feels distant, like a memory rather than a place. The lodge seems to lean slightly into the night, comfortable in its role as shelter. Its walls have held many winters, many evenings like this one. They know how to keep warmth in and cold out. They know how to hold silence. You feel that knowledge around you, steady and reassuring. If your eyes are closed, the darkness behind them feels soft, not empty. Shapes drift through it slowly. Firelight, snowflakes, shadows of trees swaying gently in the wind. None of it requires attention. It simply passes by. If your eyes are open, the room appears dim and peaceful. Nothing moves quickly. Nothing startles. The world has slowed to match your pace. In the Highlands, winter nights are long. They stretch out like a deep breath held comfortably. There is no rush toward morning. Dawn will arrive when it is ready. The wind brushes the lodge again, lighter this time. It carries the faint sound of snow shifting in the trees. A whisper, then quiet returns. You feel yourself sinking further into rest, not falling, just settling, like snow finding its place on the ground. Your shoulders feel loose, your neck relaxed. Even the muscles in your face have softened. Your brow is smooth, your jaw rests easily. The warmth from the fire radiates outward, not just through the room, but through you. It spreads slowly, evenly, until there are no cool places left. In the corner of the lodge, a pair of boots sits near the door, dusted with melting snow. They are still now, empty, waiting. Everything here waits patiently. Nothing demands movement. The lantern flame flickers once, then steadies. Its light is faint but comforting. It reminds you that even in darkness, there is warmth nearby. Outside, the clouds thin for a moment, revealing a wider stretch of stars. They shimmer faintly, distant and calm. They have watched countless winters come and go. They know that everything moves in cycles. Rest always follows effort. You are in that resting part now. The snow muffles the land so completely that it feels as if the world is holding its breath. Even the mountains seem quieter. Everything has agreed to pause. Your body understands this. It responds by letting go just a little more. The chair creaks softly as you shift without realizing it, finding an even more comfortable position. The sound is low and brief, blending into the stillness. The fire dims further, the embers glowing like small, steady stars. They do not need tending. They will burn quietly through the night. You feel safe enough to let go completely, safe enough to drift. If sleep begins to pull at you now, allow it. You do not need to stay with the story. You do not need to listen for what comes next. The lodge will remain. The night will continue. The calm will hold you. And if you remain awake, floating between listening and dreaming, that is fine too. There is no boundary here, just a gentle slide from one state to the next. The Highlands rest under their blanket of snow. The lodge rests in their care, and you rest within the lodge, wrapped in warmth, quiet, and ease. We will continue, slowly and softly, letting the night deepen even more. The night feels thicker now, fuller, as though the quiet itself has weight. Inside the lodge, nothing changes quickly. The fire glows low and steady, its warmth constant and dependable. The room seems smaller in the best way, wrapped tightly around you, holding you gently in place. Your breathing is slow and deep, moving without instruction. Inhale, exhale. Each breath feels like it travels a little deeper into your body, smoothing out places you did not know were still holding on. Outside, the snow has begun to settle more than fall. The flakes arrive less frequently now, drifting down one by one, finding their place atop the layers below. The land grows thicker with white, softer with each passing moment. The highlands feel endless and still. Valleys lie hidden beneath snow, their shapes only hinted at by subtle curves in the landscape. Stone walls disappear under drifts. Paths blur and fade. Everything becomes simple. Inside the lodge, simplicity rules. A table, a chair, a fire, stone and wood and warmth. Nothing extra, nothing missing. You notice how your thoughts no longer form full sentences. They are more like impressions now. Warmth, quiet, safety. Each one floats through and dissolves. The fire releases a faint crackle, barely audible. It feels more like a vibration than a sound. Your body responds to it instinctively, relaxing just a bit more. The blanket shifts slightly as warm air moves beneath it. It feels comforting, familiar, like something you have used many times before. It contributes to the feeling that you belong here, even if you have never been before. The lodge creaks softly again, adjusting to the cold outside. The sound is slow and gentle, almost like a sigh. The building is resting too. If you imagine the ceiling above you, it feels sturdy and reassuring. Thick beams hold the roof in place. keeping out the snow and the cold. You do not need to think about them. They simply do their job, quietly and well. The lantern light fades further, its flame lowering as the night deepens. Shadows stretch and merge, until the room feels more like a single space than separate corners. Everything blends into calm. Your eyelids feel heavy now. Even if they open, they do so lazily. Even if they close, there is no effort in keeping them that way. Your body knows what to do. Outside, the forest remains still. Trees stand wrapped in snow, branches bowed but unbroken. They have learned how to hold weight without strain, how to yield without giving up. You can learn from them without trying. The wind brushes past the lodge again, lighter than before. It carries no urgency, just movement, just presence. Then it moves on. Your breathing is so steady now that it almost disappears into the background. Each breath blends seamlessly into the next. In the distance, a stream continues its slow journey beneath ice. You cannot hear it, but you know it is there. It does not stop just because the surface is frozen. It moves patiently, quietly, without concern. The lodge feels like the center of a small, calm universe. Everything else circles around it, slow and gentle. There is no sharpness here, no edges. The fire dims again, embers glowing like soft red coals. Their light pulses faintly, then steadies. They will last through the night without help. You feel a deep sense of permission settle over you. Permission to stop thinking. Permission to stop listening closely. Permission to rest fully. Your body sinks further into the chair, as if it has found its exact shape. There is no pressure anywhere, no discomfort, just support. The blanket covers you completely now, either in reality or in imagination. It creates a cocoon of warmth and quiet. The outside world fades further away. If any sounds reach you from where you are listening, they blend easily into the story. They do not pull you out. They become part of the calm. The Highlands sleep under their snow, unchanged by the passing hours. They have seen countless nights like this one. They know how to wait. You are allowed to wait too, or to drift, or to sleep. The clock ticks on, but the sound feels softer, slower. Time stretches thin and translucent. It no longer presses against you. Your face feels relaxed, loose, peaceful. Your mouth rests slightly open or gently closed. Your tongue settles comfortably. Even the smallest muscles have let go. The lodge holds warmth like a memory. It radiates outward, filling the room evenly. No cold corners, no sharp drafts, just steady comfort. Outside, the clouds drift lazily across the sky. Stars appear and disappear without pattern. The moonlight shifts slightly, changing the color of the snow from silver to blue and back again. Everything moves slowly enough to be barely noticeable. Your awareness narrows further now. The edges of the story soften. Words become sounds. Sounds become sensations. Warmth in your chest, heaviness in your limbs, calm in your mind. The lodge no longer feels like a place you are visiting. It feels like a place you are part of, like it has accepted you without question. If sleep has already begun to pull you under, you may feel moments where you are not sure if you are listening or dreaming. That space is safe. You can stay there as long as you like. The fire glows faintly, the snow rests, the night deepens, and you continue to drift gently and naturally, carried by this snowy evening at a Scottish Highland Lodge. We can go on, slowly and softly, letting the calm deepen even further. The lodge has fully settled into the night now. There is a sense that everything that needed to happen today has already happened. Nothing else is waiting. Nothing else is unfinished. The air feels settled, like a lake after ripples have faded. You are deeply comfortable, perhaps so much so that it is hard to remember exactly when your body let go. There was no single moment, just a gradual easing, a quiet agreement between breath and warmth and stillness. Outside, the snow has almost stopped falling. What remains is a soft, unbroken blanket stretching across the land. The highlands appear smoother now, their sharp edges hidden beneath layers of white. Hills roll gently into one another, and valleys sleep unseen. The silence feels complete, but not empty. It is full in a way that feels nourishing, a silence that restores rather than isolates. Inside the lodge, the fire has reduced to a bed of glowing embers. They emit a low, steady warmth, enough to keep the chill away until morning. Their light barely reaches beyond the hearth now, leaving the rest of the room wrapped in soft darkness. You can sense the shape of the room without seeing it clearly. The walls, the ceiling, the furniture, all familiar, all safe. There is no need to look around. Nothing has changed. Your breathing remains slow and even. Each inhale feels cool and clean. Each exhale feels warm and releasing. The rhythm is steady, like waves arriving on a quiet shore. The chair continues to support you without effort. There is no pressure point, no need to adjust. Your body has found stillness and is content to remain there. The blanket rests lightly over you, its weight reassuring. It creates a gentle boundary between you and the rest of the world, like a soft cocoon. Inside it, you are held. Outside, the trees stand motionless. Their branches, heavy with snow, no longer sway. They are resting too. The forest has gone completely still, as if listening to its own quiet. Somewhere far beyond the hills, the world continues its usual movement. But here, in this glen, none of that matters. Distance has softened it. The night has quieted it. Your thoughts, if any remain, feel slow and distant. They no longer connect to one another. They drift through like fog, then thin and disappear. You may notice brief moments where you lose track of the words. That is a sign you are drifting closer to sleep. There is no need to pull yourself back. You can let those moments grow longer. The lodge seems to hum faintly with warmth. Not a sound you hear, but something you feel. A steady presence, a quiet assurance. The lantern flame has dimmed almost completely now. It still burns, but very low, casting just enough light to suggest its presence. The room feels darker, calmer, deeper. The clock ticks on, but it feels like it is ticking for someone else, not for you. You are no longer measuring time. You are resting inside it. Outside, a thin layer of frost begins to form over the snow, sealing it in place. The land grows even quieter, as if wrapped in another layer of calm. Your body feels heavy in the best way, like sinking into a warm mattress after a long day. There is no effort in staying still. Movement feels unnecessary. Your jaw hangs loose. Your tongue rests easily. Your brow is smooth. There is no tension left to release. The lodge has become a small island of warmth in a vast, sleeping landscape, and you are at its center, completely at ease. If you imagine the night stretching ahead, it feels generous and calm. Plenty of time to sleep, plenty of time to rest deeply. The embers in the fire glow faintly, then dim, then glow again. Their rhythm is slow and predictable. It mirrors your breathing without trying to. Snow rests on the roof above you, adding weight and insulation. It presses gently downward, not heavy, just enough to create a deeper sense of shelter. You are held from above, supported from below, wrapped on all sides. If sleep comes now, it will be smooth and unbroken. If it has already come in waves, you can let yourself sink fully beneath them. There is nothing left to listen for, nothing left to anticipate, just warmth, just quiet, just rest. The snowy evening continues outside the Scottish Highland Lodge, unchanged, holding the night steady as you drift further and further into sleep. The night has reached its deepest point now. It feels wide and slow, like a long pause where nothing interrupts and nothing intrudes. Inside the lodge, everything has found its place. The fire rests as embers. The air is warm and still. The silence feels complete. You are barely aware of your body anymore, only of comfort. Your limbs feel distant, as though they are resting somewhere safe without needing your attention. Breathing continues quietly, steady and unforced, like it has always known how to do this on its own. Outside, the highlands lie, completely still beneath the snow. No wind moves through the trees now. No flakes fall. The land appears frozen in time, peaceful and unchanging. Hills and valleys blend together beneath the white, forming a soft, continuous shape. The moon hangs high above the glen, casting a pale glow across the snow. Light reflects gently, never harsh, never bright. Even the sky seems to move more slowly at this hour. Inside, the lodge holds its warmth carefully. Stone walls radiate a gentle heat stored from the fire. Wooden beams stand quiet and strong overhead. Everything feels steady, reliable, calm. Your mind feels open and empty in a comfortable way. There is space here, space where nothing needs to be filled, space where rest can deepen naturally. You may feel moments where your thoughts dissolve completely, replaced by nothing at all. Those moments can stretch now. You can rest inside them without effort. The embers in the hearth glow faintly, like distant stars. They no longer flicker much. Their presence is subtle, steady, reassuring. They will last through the night, quietly doing what they do best. The blanket feels like part of you now, its warmth blending seamlessly with your own. There is no clear boundary between where you end and where comfort begins. The clock continues, its quiet ticking, but it sounds even farther away, almost like it belongs to another building, another world. Time is no longer something you are part of right now. Outside, frost settles gently on the snow, sealing the surface smooth and still. The forest remains silent, every branch resting, every trunk steady. You feel deeply protected, sheltered, cared for in a way that does not require words or attention. Your breathing grows even slower. Each breath seems to take its time, stretching out comfortably before the next one arrives. There is no hurry. There is no reason to move. The lodge feels like it is floating in the night, separate from everything else. A quiet pocket of warmth and rest, untouched by noise or urgency. If you imagine yourself from above, you would see a small, glowing lodge surrounded by endless white. Inside it, one calm, resting presence, peaceful, still. Sleep now feels very close if it has not already arrived. It may come gently, without announcement. One moment you are listening, next you are not. And that is exactly how it should be. The Highlands will remain still. The lodge will remain warm. The night will hold steady until morning. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to remember, nothing you need to listen for. Only rest, only quiet, only this soft, snowy evening carrying you gently into sleep. The night has fully claimed the Highlands now, not in a dramatic way, but in the quiet, unquestioning way that night always arrives when it knows it is welcome. Darkness rests gently over the snow, deepening its color, softening its edges. The world feels wrapped, not hidden. Inside the lodge, the warmth remains constant. It does not flicker or fade. It simply exists, steady and reassuring, like a memory that refuses to leave. The embers in the hearth glow faintly, enough to remind you they are there, but not enough to ask for your attention. You are aware, dimly, that you are resting, that your body is supported, that nothing hurts, nothing pulls, nothing interrupts. Even that awareness begins to soften, melting into something more instinctive, more natural. Breathing continues, slow and even. Each breath feels deeper than the last, not because you are trying, but because your body knows this is a safe place to let go. Air moves in, the air moves out. There is a rhythm to it that feels ancient and familiar. Outside, the snow lies untouched. No footprints cross the glen. No tracks disturb the white surface. It feels as though the land itself has chosen to remain still, honoring the quiet of the night. The mountains stand dark against the sky, their shapes barely visible now. They feel closer in the darkness, more present, not looming, not heavy, just there, steady, unmoving, protective. Inside the lodge, the wooden floor holds warmth beneath its surface. The walls radiate calm. Everything that could creak or shift has already done so. The building is at rest. You may feel your awareness drifting inward now, away from the room, away from the story, toward a deeper place where words begin to blur. That is fine. You can drift there without losing anything. The lantern's flame has nearly gone out, leaving only a faint glow at its base. The room is dim enough that shapes are suggested rather than seen. The edges of objects dissolve into shadow. There is nothing sharp or defined. Your body feels heavy, but not weighed down. It is the kind of heaviness that comes from surrender, not from effort, like lying back into warm sand, like floating just beneath the surface of still water. Outside, the night sky stretches endlessly. Clouds drift slowly, lazily, without purpose. Stars peek through in small clusters, then fade again as clouds pass over them. The sky does not rush, neither do you. Somewhere far beyond the lodge, the world continues its motion. Roads hum, lights flicker, people move, but none of that reaches here. Distance and snow and night have softened everything into irrelevance. You are allowed to forget it all for now. Inside your body, tension continues to dissolve in small, quiet ways. Muscles release that you did not realize were still holding. The space behind your eyes feels open and relaxed. Your forehead is smooth. Your jaw rests naturally. The story does not need your focus anymore. It can continue on its own. You can listen, or you can drift, or you can sleep. All of those choices lead to rest. The lodge feels like a vessel floating gently on a sea of quiet. It rocks imperceptibly with the rhythm of the night. Not enough to feel movement, just enough to feel held. Outside, frost thickens on the snow, locking everything into place. The air grows even quieter. sounds no longer travel far. Silence deepens. Your breathing grows softer still. Each inhale is barely noticeable. Each exhale is long and smooth. The pauses between breaths stretch slightly, comfortably. There is no effort in this, no instruction. Your body knows exactly how to rest when given the chance. The embers in the hearth pulse faintly, then dim. Their warmth remains even as their light fades. Heat stored in stone continues to radiate gently into the room. You are aware of warmth along your back, your shoulders, your legs. It spreads evenly without hot spots or chill. The blanket feels like a second layer of skin, protective and familiar. Thoughts now appear only occasionally, and when they do, they are incomplete, half images, fragments of memory. They dissolve before forming fully. The highlands feel vast even in stillness. The glen stretches outward in every direction, quiet and untouched. Snow lies thick on the hills, smoothing them into gentle curves. The land feels kind tonight. Inside the lodge, the sense of time fades further. Minutes and hours lose meaning. There is only this slow unfolding of night. Your body sinks deeper into rest, not downward, but inward, as though you are settling into yourself, finding a place that feels perfectly balanced. The wind does not return, the trees remain still, even the air feels settled. If you notice yourself drifting in and out of awareness, that is the edge of sleep. You can linger there without concern. Nothing will be missed. The lodge holds you the way the night holds the land, without pressure, without demand. Outside, the moon shifts slightly, changing the angle of light across the snow. Subtle changes ripple across the landscape, almost imperceptible. Everything moves, but slowly enough to feel still. Your breathing continues, your body rests, your mind quiets. You are no longer trying to sleep. Sleep is simply happening, gently, gradually, like snow settling. The fire embers glow one last time, then dim further. The room grows darker, but never cold. Warmth lingers, stored and shared. The chair supports you completely. There is no need to adjust, no need to move. The silence deepens, again, layered and full. It feels protective, not empty. Outside, the highlands remain unchanged. Snow holds the land in peaceful stillness. Mountains watch quietly. Valleys sleep. Inside, you drift closer to true sleep now. The story becomes softer, less distinct. Words blur into tone. The tone fades into sensation, warmth, stillness, safety. Nothing interrupts. Nothing calls for attention. Nothing remains undone. You are free to rest as deeply as you like. The snowy evening continues outside the Scottish Highland Lodge, holding its quiet vigil through the night, while you sink fully into sleep, carried gently by warmth, silence, and calm. The night stretches on, unbroken and calm, like a long, gentle breath held without strain. Inside the lodge, the warmth has become part of the air itself. It no longer radiates from a single place. It surrounds you evenly, quietly, as though the room remembers warmth and continues offering it without effort. You may not be aware of your body anymore in a clear way. Sensation has softened. Edges have blurred. What remains is a deep sense of being supported, of being allowed to rest fully without interruption. Outside, the highlands lie beneath a thick, undisturbed layer of snow. The glen looks different now than it did at dusk. Shapes are smoother. Distances feel longer. The land has been simplified by winter into gentle curves and quiet expanses. The mountains remain dark and steady against the sky. Their presence feels grounding. They have stood through countless nights like this one, through storms and stillness alike. They know how to wait. They know how to endure without effort. Inside the lodge, nothing moves quickly. Even the smallest changes happen slowly enough to feel like part of the stillness rather than a disruption. The embers in the hearth glow faintly, barely visible now, but their warmth continues to linger in the stone. The room feels dim, but not dark. It feels wrapped, enclosed in a way that brings comfort rather than confinement. Shadows have softened until they no longer feel separate from the walls that hold them. Your breathing remains slow and deep, moving through you like a quiet tide. Each inhale arrives cool and calm. Each exhale leaves warm and complete. The space between breaths feels longer now, and you rest easily inside it. There is a sense that you have nowhere else to be, that nothing waits for you beyond this moment. The night has created a pause, and you are resting inside it. Outside, the forest is silent. Snow clings to branches, weighing them down just enough to still their movement. No animals stir, no birds call. Everyone has agreed to rest together. Inside, the lodge feels almost like it is breathing along with you. Not in sound or motion, but in rhythm, a shared steadiness, a mutual quiet. If thoughts arise now, they feel distant and unimportant. They do not ask to be followed. They drift through and fade, like mist dissolving in cold air. You may feel moments where awareness slips entirely, where the story fades and returns without your noticing. Those moments can grow longer now. You can let them. The chair continues to hold you without pressure. The blanket rests lightly, its warmth constant. Your head feels heavy, supported, completely at ease. Outside, the sky shifts almost imperceptibly. Clouds move slowly, revealing and hiding stars in no particular pattern. The moon drifts slightly, changing the color of the snow from pale silver to deeper blue. The highlands feel vast and quiet beneath it all. Valleys sleep unseen. Streams lie hidden beneath ice, still moving, still alive, but in no hurry. Inside the lodge, the sense of time has nearly disappeared. The ticking clock no longer registers as a sound. It has faded into the background, like a memory of movement rather than movement itself. Your body feels warm all the way through. There are no cool edges, no tension points. Everything has settled into a natural state of rest. The silence feels layered now, not empty, but full of quiet presence, the kind of silence that feels alive in its own gentle way. Outside, frost thickens over the snow, locking it in place. The land becomes even more still. Even the air feels slower. You may notice that your breathing has become so soft that it almost feels like it is happening somewhere else. That is your body resting deeply, doing exactly what it needs to do. The lodge remains steady and protective. Its stone walls hold warmth. Its wooden beams stand firm. It has done this many times before. You are safe here, completely and without question. If sleep has not fully arrived yet, it is close now. It does not rush. It waits until you are ready, until you have softened enough to receive it. The embers in the hearth glow faintly once more, then dim again. Their warmth continues even as their light fades. Heat, stored in stone and wood, carries the night forward. The room grows darker, but the darkness feels gentle. It wraps rather than presses. It feels like closing your eyes rather than being without light. Outside, the highlands remain unchanged. Snow lies thick and quiet. Mountains watch silently. The glen rests. Inside, your awareness continues to narrow. Sounds fade. Sensations soften. The story becomes less distinct, more like a presence than a narrative. Warmth spreads evenly through your chest and limbs. Heaviness settles in your arms and legs. Your body sinks further into rest. You no longer need to listen for what comes next. There is nothing you need to anticipate. The night unfolds on its own. If dreams begin to form, they will be gentle, shaped by snow and firelight and quiet. If sleep remains deep and dreamless, that is perfect too. The lodge holds you either way. Outside, the moon continues its slow path across the sky. Light shifts subtly across the snow. Nothing abrupt, nothing sharp. Inside, you rest. Your breathing remains steady. Your body remains still. Your mind remains quiet. There is no effort here, only allowance. The snowy evening continues, unbroken and calm, surrounding the Scottish Highland Lodge in deep winter stillness, while you drift further and further into sleep. The night continues to stretch across the highlands like a soft, endless blanket. Outside, the snow has settled into a quiet, undisturbed white that seems to glow faintly under the pale moonlight. It has grown smoother, softer, as though the land itself is breathing gently, settling into its own calm. Every hill and valley is muffled beneath this gentle covering, and the world feels still in a way that is easy to believe in. Inside the lodge, the fire has dimmed further, the embers glowing low, faint sparks occasionally flickering upward, only to settle quickly back into their warm, steady glow. The light is soft, almost imperceptible, and it reaches only as far as the stone hearth. Shadows stretch and merge into the corners of the room, creating spaces that feel safe, cocooned, and private. You feel your body supported fully. Each curve of the chair beneath you seems perfectly shaped for your weight. The blanket rests evenly across your body, gentle and consistent in warmth. Your shoulders, arms, and legs feel heavy, completely held. Even the small muscles in your face have released tension you didn't know they were holding. Breathing has become a soft rhythm. Each inhale comes cool, clean, and effortless. Each exhale flows slowly, gently, carrying with it any remaining tension, any lingering concern. The pauses between breaths stretch naturally, as though your body knows how to pace itself perfectly. Outside, the wind is still. The trees stand silent, their snow-covered branches heavy but calm. No animals stir in the forest tonight. The land is entirely at rest, waiting patiently, unchanged by your presence or absence. The mountains rise darkly against the night sky, unyielding and steady. They feel protective, like ancient guardians watching over the valley below. Inside, the lodge seems alive in its quiet way. The warmth stored in the walls and floors radiates evenly, touching your body and making the room feel like a protective shell. Each sound that the building produces a faint creak of wood, a subtle sigh as the stone cools or shifts is slow, soft, and natural. It is a lullaby in its own right, signaling calm and safety. Your awareness begins to drift. Thoughts that may have been active earlier are now sparse. Only half-formed images float by, dissolving before they can demand attention. Shapes and sensations blur. The sensation of warmth, the softness of the chair, the quiet of the lodge become your entire world. Occasionally, a faint whisper of air brushes past a window pane, moving lightly through the cracks where the snow has pressed gently against the walls. The sound is soft, almost imperceptible, like a breath. It passes and leaves no trace, only the memory of movement. The embers in the hearth glow again, tiny pulses that are barely noticeable. Their heat spreads quietly through the room, touching stone, wood, and air alike. The warmth seeps into your body, radiating from your chest through your limbs, pooling in your feet, your hands, and your back. Every inch of you feels comfortably heavy. Your eyelids feel heavier with each passing moment. Even if they are open, the dim light makes looking around unnecessary. The shapes of the room are familiar and comforting enough without direct attention. The glow of embers and the muted light of the lantern are enough to suggest the form of the lodge, while leaving the rest of your vision soft and undefined. The night outside continues without interruption. Snowdrifts occasionally shift in subtle movements from gravity or the slight pressure of ice. Trees make the faintest noises as frozen branches settle under their weight. Even these movements are slow and gentle, blending into the quiet rhythm of the night rather than disturbing it. Inside, your body has relaxed further into the chair. Every muscle has softened. Your head rests easily. Your neck feels supported without effort. Your shoulders are loose. Your legs and arms are weighted just enough to remind you of gravity without any discomfort. Time seems irrelevant here. The clock ticks, but its sound is faint, distant. It feels more like a heartbeat, barely noticeable, reminding you only that life continues at its own pace, far away from this cocoon of warmth and rest. The lodge itself seems to exist independently of time, floating in this quiet, frozen moment. Every object, the chair, the table, the blanket, the walls, and the hearth remains constant. Nothing demands attention. Everything simply supports your rest. Outside, the moonlight shifts subtly across the snow, changing the color and texture in ways that are soft and slow. Small hills appear and disappear as shadows pass over them. Valleys sink quietly into the night. The world feels larger and yet contained, safe under its blanket of snow. Inside, your senses are focused entirely on calm. You feel warmth, weight, softness, and quiet. You hear only the faintest sounds, the occasional ember crackle, the subtle sigh of wood, the ghost of wind brushing against the lodge. These are gentle reminders that the world continues to exist, but only softly. Your breathing continues its slow, even rhythm. Inhale, exhale, pause. Each cycle feels longer, smoother, and more natural than the last. You are not thinking about it. You are simply experiencing it, fully supported by your body's natural rhythm. The lodge feels larger than its walls. It contains not only warmth, but comfort, security, and quiet. It has been built to hold the cold out, but it also seems to hold something invisible peace. It seems to understand how to support you, to help you sink deeper into rest. Outside, the highlands seem infinite in their stillness. Snow has smoothed every ridge and valley, creating a landscape that is simultaneously vast and safe. The mountains stand watchful, the trees silent, the air calm. Everything rests without effort. You are allowed to rest in the same way. No need to move, no need to think, no need to engage. You are held entirely by the warmth, the quiet, the lodge itself. Your mind continues to soften, Thoughts that appear do not form into language or stories. They appear like shadows, dissolve quickly, and leave no residue. Even awareness of time, of self, of place, begins to fade. Only calm remains. Occasionally, a faint sound from outside may reach your ears, a shifting branch, a whisper of wind, but it is soft, distant, and part of the larger calm. It does not require reaction. It merely exists, like everything else, within this perfect night of stillness. The embers glow faintly again, but they require nothing from you. You simply feel the heat, steady and gentle, spreading through the room and into your body. You may notice your chest rising slightly, your shoulders sinking a little further. Every breath seems to carry more calm than the last. The blanket has become part of the rhythm of the room. Its weight and warmth are not oppressive. They are supportive, like a soft hand resting on your skin. You notice it, and then you do not. It simply is. Time continues to fade. The world outside seems both far away and soft. The mountains, the snow, the sky, the aural distant, all protective, all still. Inside, your body has softened further. Your face rests fully relaxed. Your jaw, your eyes, your forehead, all loose and heavy. The chair holds you completely, supporting every inch. The lodge cradles you, steady and patient. Your breathing may be barely perceptible now, and that is exactly how it should be. Each inhale brings gentle warmth. Each exhale releases the smallest tension. You may feel as though your body is floating inside itself, supported entirely by the calm of the room. The night outside continues undisturbed. Snow covers the land completely. Valleys and hills lie hidden beneath it, smooth and silent. The moon casts its pale light, illuminating the peaks, valleys, and distant trees in a gentle glow. Nothing feels hurried. Nothing feels dangerous. Inside, the lodge seems to hum in subtle ways, not in sound, but in sensation. Warmth radiates from the hearth, held by the walls, spreading quietly into the air. The chair cradles you. The blanket rests gently. Every element exists to support rest. You feel yourself drifting, deeper now, toward a place between wakefulness and sleep. You may notice moments where words blur, where shapes fade, where even your body seems part of the lodge itself. This is a safe place, a warm place, a quiet place, a Scottish Highland Lodge on a snowy evening, holding both you and the night steady. If sleep arrives, it comes gently. No sudden drops, no abrupt shifts, just warmth, calm, and comfort, carrying you naturally into deep rest. The embers glow low, then even lower, their heat still present. The snow outside rests thickly. The trees are silent. The night is endless, and you are resting in it, fully, safely, completely. The lodge feels entirely settled now, as if it has become part of the night itself. The warmth from the hearth has spread evenly through the stone and wood, creating a gentle, consistent heat that touches every corner of the room. It is not bright or insistent, only steady, reassuring, and calm. You feel it soaking into your body, your chest, your back, your arms, your legs, until every inch is comfortably heavy and warm. Outside, the highlands remain blanketed in white. Snow has frozen the world into a gentle stillness, smoothing out every ridge, softening every valley. Hills rise and fall quietly, indistinguishable in the uniform layer of snow. The mountains loom in the distance, silent and protective. There is no rush here. Nothing demands your attention. The land simply exists, patiently, Inside, the room feels larger than it actually is. Shadows stretch and blend into one another, creating corners that seem safe, like spaces made just for rest. The chair beneath you cradles your weight perfectly. The blanket rests lightly over your body, distributing warmth evenly. Even the smallest muscles, your jaw, your neck, the tiny ones in your face, have released tension you may not have realized you were holding. Your breathing continues, slow, steady, deep, inhale, exhale. The rhythm is natural and smooth, effortless. Each breath carries a sense of calm, deeper than the last. There is no need to think about breathing. It simply happens, like the movement of the snow outside, like the flow of a stream beneath ice. The lodge itself seems to breathe in time with you, not in sound, but in sensation. The stone absorbs warmth from the hearth and slowly releases it, spreading evenly into the floor and walls. Wood expands slightly, adjusting to the heat. Even the air feels warmer, softer, calmer, as if the lodge itself is settling for the night, supporting you completely. Outside, the wind has almost stopped entirely. Trees hold their snow-laden branches still. No animals move. The land is hushed, silent, and at rest. Even the stars above are faint tonight, soft points of light blinking slowly through the thin veil of clouds. The moon casts a pale, gentle glow, reflecting off the snow, illuminating the peaks and valleys in a soft, ethereal silver. You may notice your awareness drifting inward. Thoughts appear briefly, like distant clouds, and dissolve quickly. Shapes and sensations take precedence. The warmth of the chair, the weight of the blanket, the faint vibration of calm in your chest. Time no longer feels relevant. Minutes and hours fade into one long, continuous now. You are allowed to exist in this pause without concern, without responsibility, without thought. Only stillness remains. Occasionally, a faint crackle escapes the embers, but it is soft, slow, and rhythmic. Each tiny sound spreads warmth and assurance through the room. It blends into the larger calm, a reminder that you are safe, held, supported. Your eyelids grow heavier. Even if they are open, the dim glow of the embers and the lantern is enough to keep your vision soft, relaxed. Shapes are suggested rather than defined. The room's corners seem to dissolve into darkness that feels comfortable rather than intimidating. Outside, the highlands feel infinite in their stillness. Snow covers hills, valleys, and streams. Forests lie completely at rest, each branch weighed down yet unbroken, perfectly patient. Mountains rise in the distance, unyielding, silent, holding the glen within their protective embrace. You feel connected to this slow, patient rhythm. It mirrors your own breathing, your own stillness, your own rest. Inside, your body continues to sink further into relaxation. Limbs are heavy, but not strained. Muscles loosen naturally, as though guided by the warmth around you. Even your face feels soft and calm, your jaw relaxed, your tongue resting gently, your eyes ready to close fully. The lodge seems to hum quietly, in a way you can feel more than hear. Heat radiates from stone and wood. Shadows shift subtly. The air feels alive with a presence that is calm, protective, and steady. You are entirely safe here. You are entirely held. Snow outside shifts subtly with gravity. A small drift slides down a roofline. A branch settles. Even these tiny movements are slow and unthreatening. They blend seamlessly into the background, reinforcing the quiet rhythm of the night. Your attention is fully internal now. Breathing, warmth, stillness, the gentle pulsing of your chest, the slow sinking of your body into the chair. Each movement of your body is deliberate yet effortless, as though it is resting entirely in its own weight. The embers glow low, steady. Their warmth is gentle, constant. They will last through the night, sustaining the lodge in its cocoon of heat. You do not need to notice them consciously. You simply feel the comfort radiating from them. Outside, the world is frozen yet alive. Snow covers all forms, creating smooth curves and quiet lines. Valleys lie hidden, hills softened, streams locked beneath ice, yet still flowing slowly, patiently. Even this hidden movement is calm, measured, deliberate. Your mind drifts further, toward the edge of sleep. Words fade, images blur. Thoughts dissolve into sensation, warmth, weight, stillness. The room, the lodge, the snow, the mountains, they all exist in this single, gentle moment. The lodge continues to breathe quietly with you. Heat radiates, shadows stretch, silence deepens. The world outside is still. The mountains watch. The snow rests. You sink deeper into yourself, fully supported, fully safe. Every breath feels longer, smoother, more complete. Pause, exhale, inhale, pause. Each cycle draws you further into rest. Your body seems heavier, yet more supported, more aligned with the warmth and stillness surrounding you. Even the faint sounds of the lodge, the creak of wood, the sigh of stone, the pulse of embers blend seamlessly into a slow rhythm that is easy to follow, easy to exist inside. They feel like a lullaby sung by the building itself. Time continues to fade. Outside, clouds drift across the sky in slow arcs. The moonlight shifts across the snow, creating subtle changes in shadow and light. Valleys darken, hills brighten, mountains shift their pale outlines. It is a quiet, unhurried dance. Inside, your awareness continues to narrow. Body, breath, warmth, comfort, everything external fades. Even the soft glow of embers becomes less distinct. You are sinking deeper, moving toward a place where thought is unnecessary, where sleep is natural, where the lodge and the night hold you entirely. Your chest rises and falls with perfect ease. Limbs are heavy, muscles soft. Your head feels weightless, cradled, perfectly aligned. Even your mind rests. Thoughts that appear dissolve immediately, leaving only calm. The lodge, the hearth, the snow outside, the mountains in the distance, they exist around you as steady companions, supporting the slow, deep rhythm of your body and mind. Every element works together to create this calm, unbroken space. You may feel the edges of awareness blurring, where listening to the story becomes indistinct, where sensation merges with memory, where time is irrelevant. This is the perfect threshold. You are at the edge of sleep, gently slipping toward deep rest. The embers glow again, their warmth persistent, constant. Even their subtle sparks are soft, delicate, and unhurried. They offer assurance, calm, and comfort without effort. Outside, the highlands remain unchanged. Snow rests, hills smooth, valleys hidden, mountains watchful. Even the air feels still, weightless, complete. Inside your body melts further into comfort. Blanket, chair, room, warmth all merge into one seamless support. Every sensation is gentle. Every breath is calm. Every muscle is at ease. Your mind continues to drift, to soften, to slow. Words fade entirely, shapes dissolve. Only sensation remains: warmth, calm, stillness, weight, security. The lodge continues its quiet vigil, holding you gently as the night stretches onward. The embers dim, but warmth remains. The snow rests thick, mountains hold steady. The night carries you softly, deeply, completely into sleep. The lodge remains still, cradled in warmth and quiet, as though it itself has settled into sleep along with you. The hearth glows faintly, casting a gentle, golden light that dances softly on the stone walls, illuminating the wooden beams in subtle patterns. Shadows shift slowly and naturally, giving the room a quiet life of its own, a life that is calm, patient, and unhurried. The air inside feels soft and steady. It carries the warmth of the embers and the scent of wood smoke that has long since stopped rising in visible trails, leaving only the memory of fire and comfort. Each breath you take is smooth and slow, filling your lungs completely without effort, then releasing in a long, gentle exhale that spreads warmth across your body. Outside, the snow has deepened over the glen. Hills and valleys are smooth under its weight, almost sculpted in a way that feels intentional, as if the land itself has been softened to invite rest. The mountains rise darkly in the distance, their silhouettes gentle and protective. There is no motion, no sound, only a vast, steady presence that feels reassuring and calm. Inside, the lodge continues to hold you perfectly. The chair beneath you supports every curve of your body. The blanket rests lightly over you, warm, soft, consistent. Your muscles have fully relaxed. Every tension you carried before has slipped away, absorbed by the gentle heat and stillness of the room. Your head, neck, shoulders, and limbs are all aligned, heavy, fully supported. The rhythm of your breathing deepens naturally. Inhale, exhale, pause. Each breath carries you further into calm. The space between each cycle grows longer, stretching the sensation of rest, expanding the quiet, making it deeper and more complete. You do not need to think about breathing. It happens on its own, perfectly tuned to your body's need for rest. The lodge seems to breathe with you, not audibly, but in the way warmth spreads through stone and wood, in the subtle settling of beams, in the soft echo of heat bouncing through the room. It is alive in the most peaceful way possible, its life measured in comfort, support, and stillness. Outside, the wind has almost vanished entirely. Trees stand heavy with snow, unmoving. Even the stars seem muted tonight, their light soft and diffused, peeking slowly through thin clouds. The moon casts its pale glow across the snow, highlighting hills and valleys in silvered relief. The highlands feel infinite and safe, each detail softened by winter's hush. Your mind continues to dissolve gently. Thoughts appear faintly, like distant clouds, and vanish before they require attention. You may notice only the faintest suggestion of a memory, a shape, a sound, before it slips into nothing. Awareness of time begins to fade. Awareness of self softens. Only calm remains. The embers in the hearth pulse occasionally, a small flicker that rises and falls in rhythm with the night. Heat radiates from them, steady and consistent, touching every corner of the room and every inch of your body. The sensation is subtle, encompassing, and utterly soothing. The blanket merges with your skin, your chair, the room itself. You may notice it briefly, a touch of warmth against your legs or shoulders. Then you do not. It has become a part of the gentle rhythm, a constant presence that requires no attention. Outside, the snow is almost liquid in its stillness. Hills and ridges flow together. Valleys sink softly beneath their cover. Branches, weighed down by snow, have settled into permanent positions. The forest breathes slowly, almost imperceptibly, but it breathes in time with the world. Inside, your body feels heavy and light at the same time. Heavy in its relaxation, yet light in the sense that no effort is required. You are fully supported. Every inch of you rests perfectly aligned with the lodge, the warmth, and the slow rhythm of the night. Occasionally, the faintest sound may reach you, a soft crackle from the hearth, the settling of wood, a tiny whisper of snow outside, but it is not abrupt. It blends seamlessly into the overall calm. Even sound has softened, become slow, deliberate, and safe. Your eyelids grow heavier if they are not already closed. The dim light in the room is soft enough to allow your eyes to rest completely. Shapes blur into shadows, and shadows dissolve into darkness that feels gentle and protective. The mountains outside continue their silent watch. Valleys lie hidden beneath snow. Trees rest, unmoving. Even the air feels still, heavy with calm, carrying the memory of winter's hush. Inside, your attention drifts inward. Senses that once sought detail now rest entirely on feeling, warmth, weight, comfort, stillness, safety. Your body, the chair, the blanket, the lodge itself, all merge into a single cocoon of calm. The embers glow faintly, almost imperceptibly, yet their warmth continues to pulse through the room. You feel it along your back, through your legs, across your shoulders. Each pulse is gentle, steady, a heartbeat of comfort, unhurried and patient. The snow outside continues to rest in quiet, shaping the land into smooth curves and gentle slopes. Valleys sink softly, hills rise without abrupt edges. Even the smallest branches hold their frozen positions perfectly, unmoving. The highlands themselves seem to hold their breath, keeping perfect, gentle stillness. Inside, your breathing is barely noticeable. Inhale, exhale, pause. Inhale, exhale, pause. Each cycle draws you further into the lodge, into the warmth, into calm, deeper into yourself. Time no longer exists here. It is unnecessary. You are allowed to exist purely in sensation, purely in presence, purely in rest. The lodge and the night take care of everything else. Your body continues to melt into the chair and blanket. Limbs are fully supported. Muscles soften completely. Even small muscles in your face, around your eyes and mouth, have released all tension. Your head feels weightless, yet supported, aligned perfectly with your spine. The lodge itself feels alive in the quietest, softest way possible. Heat radiates evenly, shadows shift slowly. Wood and stone expand subtly, naturally. The room has become an extension of your own rest, a partner in the slow rhythm of night. Outside, snowdrifts have settled. Hills and valleys blend into one another, softened by layers of frozen white. Trees stand silent, mountains watchfully. The air is cold, still, and unbroken. Every element exists in patience, in quiet, in calm. Your awareness continues to drift. Thoughts are optional now. Words have disappeared. Shapes have softened into vague forms. All that remains is sensation, warmth, comfort, weight, stillness, support. Calm. The embers pulse faintly again. The heat continues, subtle but persistent, warming the room, the lodge, your body. They require no attention. You simply feel the comfort spreading. The highlands outside remain unchanged. Snow rests on hills, valleys, and mountains. Trees are still. The air is silent. The world has slowed, flattened, softened into a single, unbroken state of rest. Inside, your body drifts further. Limbs relax more. Breathing slows more. Awareness narrows. All is still. All is warm. All is safe. This is a moment of complete calm. A moment where the lodge, the night, the snow, the mountains, and your own body exist perfectly together. Nothing is required. Nothing is expected. Nothing interrupts. Sleep may arrive at any moment. It will be gentle, deep, and unhurried. It will carry you fully, without resistance, into the warmth and calm of this snowy Scottish Highland Lodge. And you continue here, softly, quietly, letting the stillness, the warmth, and the calm carry you deeper and deeper into sleep. The lodge feels timeless now, suspended in its own quiet rhythm. The warmth from the hearth has spread throughout the room so completely that it seems as if the walls themselves are alive with heat, radiating gently into every corner. The wooden beams above you glow faintly under the soft light, their texture subtle and comforting, like a familiar hand brushing past your awareness. The shadows created by the fire are soft, undulating slowly along the walls, stretching and shrinking in a rhythm that is calm and predictable, almost like a lullaby. Your body continues to sink further into relaxation. Each muscle, each tendon, each joint seems to have released all tension it has held. Your shoulders have softened fully, your arms feel heavy, your fingers and hands rest loosely at your sides. Even the smallest muscles in your face have let go, and your jaw hangs just enough to allow your mind to soften further. Your legs feel weighted, yet supported, perfectly aligned with the chair and the blanket covering you. Outside, the highlands remain a silent, snow-covered world. Snowdrifts shift only subtly under the weight of frozen air. Hills and valleys appear as soft shapes, smoothed by winter's hand. The trees hold their branches, heavy with snow, unmoving, silent. The mountains stand distant, tall, and watchful, their dark forms calming rather than imposing. The air is still, cold, yet clean, carrying the soft scent of frost. Even the stars above seem dimmer tonight, distant pinpoints behind a thin veil of cloud. Inside, the room feels completely secure, a protective shell against the chill of the outside world. The warmth of the fire is absorbed by the walls, floor, and ceiling, spreading evenly until every inch of space feels gently heated. The air itself feels soft, carrying warmth to your skin and sinking slowly into your body, settling into your chest, back, and limbs. You may notice the subtle shift of heat along your arms and legs, but it is effortless, comfortable, and constant. Your breathing is slow and steady, almost imperceptible. Inhale, exhale, pause. Inhale, exhale, pause. Each cycle carries you deeper into relaxation, deeper into the lodge, deeper into the night. You no longer need to control your breath. It moves naturally, in perfect rhythm, with the calm that surrounds you. The lodge itself seems alive in a gentle, imperceptible way. The wood expands and contracts slightly with the heat. The stone absorbs and radiates warmth, and even the air seems to carry a quiet pulse of comfort. This life is not intrusive. It does not demand attention. It is steady, patient, and entirely in tune with the rhythm of rest. Outside, the snow reflects the pale moonlight in shifting shades of silver and blue. Valleys and hills seem to roll seamlessly into one another. Streams lie frozen beneath the snow, still moving slowly beneath their icy cover, unheard and unseen. The trees are frozen in place, yet they seem to breathe slowly with the night, synchronized with the calm and patience of the land. Your mind drifts naturally toward the edges of sleep. Thoughts, if they appear at all, are fleeting shadows that dissolve before they can take form. Memories drift past like snowflakes, melting before you can catch them. Your awareness of time, space, and even self is diminishing. Only warmth, weight, and the gentle rhythm of your breathing remain. The embers in the hearth flicker faintly. Sparks rise for a moment and vanish, their glow barely touching the room before they disappear. Yet the heat remains steady, constant, and encompassing. You feel it radiating through your back, across your shoulders, into your arms and legs, pooling in your core. It is not intrusive. It is simply present, supportive, and comforting. The blanket over you has become part of the room's rhythm. Its warmth is steady, consistent, and perfectly weighted. You may notice it briefly, then it dissolves into your perception, merging completely with the sensation of the lodge, the fire, and the night. Outside, the highlands are timeless and still. Snow has flattened every edge and softened every slope. Valleys are hidden beneath pristine blankets of white. Hills appear smooth, uninterrupted. Trees, weighed down with snow, remain still. Even the wind seems to have stopped entirely, leaving only the cold, clean air and the silence of a world at rest. Inside, your body is fully cradled, limbs, chest, head fully supported. Muscles release any remaining tension without effort. Even your mind relaxes further. Thoughts appear less frequently, dissolve more quickly, and leave no residue. Sensation replaces cognition. Warmth replaces tension. Calm replaces effort. The embers continue their quiet pulse. Their warmth radiates softly, subtly shifting through the room and your body. The sound of faint crackles, almost imperceptible, blends seamlessly with the overall calm. The room seems to exhale with each pulse, as if the lodge itself is breathing quietly in tandem with you. The snow outside shifts only slightly. A small drift falls slowly from a branch. Ice settles into the ground. Hills and valleys maintain their soft, gentle contours. The highlands remain protective, vast, and silent. Your awareness drifts further inward. Sensations dominate thought. Warmth, weight, and comfort become your entire world. The lodge, the fire, the blanket, the chair all fuse into a cocoon of gentle support. Your chest rises and falls in slow, even rhythm. Limbs sink into weightless heaviness. Your head feels perfectly cradled. Time no longer exists. The lodge has become a vessel outside the bounds of day and night. The snow outside has frozen the world into a smooth, infinite expanse. Mountains, valleys, forests, they all exist purely in stillness, and so do you. Your mind softens further. Sleep edges closer, like a gentle tide rising, quiet and unhurried. Your body, entirely relaxed, begins to merge with the sensations of warmth and support around you. Each breath, each heartbeat, each pulse of warmth pulls you deeper into calm. The embers glow low, steady, and persistent. Their warmth spreads evenly, touching every corner of the lodge and every inch of your body. You do not need to notice them consciously. They exist to support you and that is enough. Outside, the snow lies thick and undisturbed. Hills and valleys form soft, continuous curves. Forests stand motionless. Mountains rise like ancient guardians, holding the glen in their watchful, patient embrace. Even the air seems calm, filled with the frozen hush of winter. Inside, your body continues to drift. Limbs sink deeper. Muscles soften completely. Your chest and back relax fully. Even your mind releases the last traces of tension. Words dissolve. Thoughts dissolve. Only sensation remains. Warmth, weight, stillness, calm. The lodge hums quietly with life that is subtle and gentle. Wood, stone, air, fire, blanket, chair, they all exist in harmony, supporting the slow, deep rhythm of your body and mind. The room has become a perfect cocoon, a private, serene haven. Outside, the highlands remain infinite and patient. Snow rests thickly, hills smooth, valleys hidden. Trees are silent, mountains steadfast. The world is frozen, yet alive in the slowest, calmest way. Inside, your awareness continues to narrow. Thoughts are optional. Words are unnecessary. Even shapes have softened into shadows. All that exists is sensation, warmth, calm, weight, support, stillness. Sleep is near now. It is gentle, deep, and unhurried. It does not push. It does not demand. It simply flows naturally, carrying you into rest. The embers continue their quiet, steady glow. Snow outside lies thick. Mountains watch. Trees are still. Inside, your body melts further into warmth and comfort. Limbs, chest, head entirely supported. Muscles are completely relaxed. Mind soft, calm, fading. This is a moment of perfect rest. The lodge, the night, the snow, the mountains, and your own body exist together in harmony. Nothing is required. Nothing interrupts. You are held completely, softly, gently, fully. And now you drift deeper and deeper, letting the warmth, the calm, and the stillness carry you naturally into sleep, secure in the quiet heart of the snowy Scottish Highlands.